there you go. So I'll give you an introduction about myself, and then what I'm doing, the work I'm doing at Situ, and then see how we can perhaps collaborate with anyone in the network. So I got into architecture because I love making things. I went to studied at Centre for Alternative Technology, and which is very much an architecture school based in Wales, looking into sustainable materials. Then I spent a lot of time working in London, but we were focused on sustainability in residential practice, but it was always probably more of a second thought for people, something they wanted to do, but never could quite manage to prioritize. And then just over 2 years ago, I joined Situ, which is a housing developer in Leeds. And the work I'm doing there is I'm the product owner, so involved in kind of the continuous improvement of the build system. So I'll talk to you a bit about what Situ do. So they're a vertically integrated developer. So they do the whole stage of the process, and the mission is to do low energy, like low carbon housing. So sustainable in terms of transport, building in urban areas, building using natural materials, and very high performance homes that don't require energy. So to passive house standards. So made from timber, air tightness is very good, and insulation levels are very high as well. And that's across all the projects. As a development, they're medium density, so it's not kind of a suburban development like your typical house builder with 2-car drives, or your urban block, which is more common. It's this middle density which creates good landscapes, communities, but it's also walkable. Situ has two main developments, one in Leeds and one in Sheffield. So I'll just talk to you about the Climate Innovation District, which is its main project in Leeds. It's partway. It's being built as we speak. So about 60 homes are completed, and there's around about 800 to go. This is a development, so it's about a 10-minute walk from Leeds city centre. If you know Leeds, if you walk out on the river east along the Canal Towpath, and on the right-hand side you've got phase 1, which is already midway complete, and that's a mixture of residential and apartments. Then so you can see my mouse pointing, but here in the centre this is our manufacturing facility where we build the houses, and that's a new office that is about to be completed. And then over here is a planned multi-generational building. So that's a school, a care home, and apartments all in one building. So the idea is really to create a neighborhood where people can walk and create a community as well, so people aren't dependent on cars. This is the pedestrian bridge that's gone in, and these are the car-free landscapes. And also there's no you'll notice there's no garden fences as well. It's all shared green landscapes. And this is the office building. It's actually due to open on Monday. And so the idea is to try and normalize. At the beginning, the first residents to move in were taking a big risk of us, but we're trying to make it that it's a normalized place to live. And I'll just talk to you a bit about the process of how we do it. As I mentioned, we're a vertically integrated business. So Situ is the developer. We acquire the land. Then we also do the sales process at the end. And then from a delivery point of view, we do the designs, we do the manufacture. We've got our own timber frame facility in-house, and we do the assembly on site. That process starts like a regular architectural process of designing, very much focused around the streets, creating neighborhoods. Then it goes through the technical design process, and then on the right-hand side, that's a screen within the factory. And in the factory, we build the walls and the roof and the floor cassettes. It all comes together there. Then it's erected on site, and working roughly to one week per house. So that's 4 weeks to build a block of 4 houses, terraces like that. And then there's a fit out team, which is a team of 5 who kind of are multi-skilled, and they work to do the joinery, the electrics, the plumbing. And between them as a team, we'll fit out the house in about 20 days. So yeah, so that's the delivery model. And then the areas we're looking to make improvements on is in our embodied carbon. So we want to be able to calculate the exact amount of embodied carbon that goes into every house we deliver. We also, PHPP is the Passive House Energy Standard modeling. We want to be able to do that for every house as well. So at the early stages of the design process, so we can see the orientation of a building, or adding a window here or there will improve the energy performance. We're always looking to use lower energy and natural materials. Foundations is an area where we're probably doing it quite conventionally to how the rest of the industry does it. We're trying to move away from concrete and high carbon materials. And then also the amount of waste that comes out of our process as well, addressing those. So these are kind of the areas where I'd probably open up the network and say, if there's any ideas of ways we can do these better, we'd love to hear from you. Also love to invite you to visit. If you want to take a tour around, happy to show you around. These are some of the initiatives we've already put in place, is using wood fiber insulation. We're using OS timber board as our air tightness line instead of a membrane, timber eye joists, clay plaster, and then that's a graphene based paint, so more natural and more stable as well. So these are all things we're exploring using. And yeah, that's where I'd open it up to see if there's any suggestions from the network. Just to put an idea out there, it was at an event you organized previously, Iris, where it was someone from a paper company was looking at what they could do, how they could enter the construction industry. So we showed them around our site, and they had lots of ideas in terms of building protection materials, like the plastic we put on the floors to protect them during construction. They thought they could come up with a paper solution that would be better. So they sent us a box load of paper products to try out. That didn't come to anything in the end, but just an idea of how we're excited to use more materials, and because we're vertically integrated, we maybe have that ability to support a company coming into that space. Yeah, I'll open it up.